Now I'm thinking about turning my hips. I'm not thinking about loading them up so much, just turning my hips. If I think about turning my hips in, see how I get that rotation? That's the hardest part to learn. One of the hardest things about learning how to throw somebody is how to turn your hips in front of them and get your back to them. Okay, I mean that's an obstacle a lot of people have to overcome. That's why a lot of foot sweeps and like osotogari, things like that, they're easier to learn. And they work great, they're great throws. But people get a stumbling block when they have to turn their back and turn somebody, throw them over their body. So let's look on the hardest part is turning the hips, and then by turning your hips, you'll be able to turn your shoulders into it. And a good one to start that I think to help really reinforce or actually to teach how to get good hip rotation is Ippon Seoinage. I just believe that. Now, you can go Koshi-Drum and other stuff, but Ippon Seoinage allows me to work my hips and shoulders together when I'm in a forward rotational type movement here with this. So let's watch. So I've got my Seoinage, basic grip here, or my kumikata, I should say. And all I want to do is practice popping them up. And when I do that, I want to lock. And now I'm thinking about turning my hips. I'm not thinking about loading them up so much, just turning my hips. If I think about turning my hips in, see how I get that rotation? That's the hardest part to learn, okay? Now, different people approach it differently. They'll say, okay, come across here and step in, like a surikomi action, lifting, pulling action. They'll say, do a box step. Those are all good. They work. But what they're trying to achieve, and what I'm trying to achieve with you guys here, is to teach you to turn your hips, and when you turn your hips, you turn your shoulders. And I get you, so if you were just coming here like this, see how I'm turning this? I'm not even holding on. See how my hips have turned, my shoulders have turned. So they're connected. See that? So when you're doing that, okay, pop them up, lock, but just turn. You don't have to worry how you turn, just turn your feet. See how I turn my feet? My knees to the left, my butt to the right. I have total rotation here. You know, I'm 6'4", and if I try to throw them this way, squatting really low, I'm not going to do it. I've got a rotation, and I think this is the most efficient way to do a turning forward throw. You can do the same thing. Like if you start doing like a haraigoshi or something, you're still turning, see the shoulders there? And your haraigoshi, uchimata, anything. But you got to get that hip and shoulder rotation. Does that make sense where they're connected? Okay, we just talked about hip rotation, shoulder rotation. Okay, there's the old saying, you know, where your head goes, your body follows. Well, this is true here. So now I'm thinking about where does my head go? So when I rotate my hips and shoulders, my head's going to turn as well. Okay? I don't look down. I don't look away. So when I pop them up and come in, look at what my head's doing, like this. Okay. See, I'm looking in that direction. So I'm using the turning by turning my head, it helps rotate my hips and shoulders more. And also, some weight of my head turning like that helps in the torque of the throw.